Here are 5 huge games coming to Apple Silicon Macs in the not too distant future. Experience survival horror like never before on Mac with the 8th major installment in the storied Resident Evil franchise, Resident Evil Village. This is a big statement to say, but Village is probably the biggest AAA game to hit Mac since Bungie released the original Halo on Macintosh in 2003. To my knowledge, Capcom have never released any game on Mac, so this is truly exciting, and I hope will show other developers that Macs can be a great place for gaming. Resident Evil Village is said to support every Apple Silicon Mac. Previously on Intel Macs, this would have only been possible on Mac with a dedicated graphics card. Capcom are using high-quality textures, geometry, and complex shaders on Apple Silicon. All this is thanks to Metal 3 and Metal FX upscaling to deliver hauntingly beautiful scenes at the highest resolution. You can expect 1080p on MacBook Air and up to 4K on Mac Studio. Resident Evil Village Gold Edition is coming in late October, so maybe they'll time the Mac release with the Gold Edition release. I hope Capcom port the other Resident Evil games that run under the same RE engine, Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, and Resident Evil 7.
Take it! Take it! No, it's out there.
Originally released in 2016, No Man's Sky is a game about exploration and survival in an infinite, procedurally generated universe. Since the game's rocky launch, this game has expanded and expanded to reach its original vision, while continuing to give gamers new content. Hello Games are now surprising us with a Mac version and even an iPad port of No Man's Sky. It has not been confirmed yet if it will have crossplay with the iPad port or other systems for that matter. I hope it does, as this game supports up to 32-player multiplayer, and it might be hard finding players if it's exclusive to the Mac App Store. It's also easy to imagine the VR version will not be available, as Apple Silicon currently doesn't support virtual reality. According to WWDC 2022, playing No Man's Sky on Apple Silicon, you'll notice the incredible visuals and fluid gameplay using Metal FX Temporal AA and upscaling to provide an increased frame rate for a more responsive feel. This will even be possible on the weakest M1 chipset. The new Nintendo Switch version is releasing in October, so maybe we can expect the Mac version then. X-Plane is a flight simulation series that has always pushed for incredibly realistic experiences with 3D cockpits, advanced video effects and sounds, living airports, and huge sceneries to travel over. X-Plane 12 goes even further with improved 3D world features and global scenery, fully animated airports, a larger fleet of aircrafts, an improved weather engine, improved lighting engine, and modern graphical settings such as AMD FSR. It's been confirmed by the developer that X-Plane 12 will run natively on Apple Silicon-based Macs, unlike X-Plane 11, which runs under Rosetta. Brilliant! The bad news is that this is going to be a very demanding game, requiring 16 gigabytes of memory, and if you have third-party add-ons installed and are using complex aircrafts, this is said to be quite taxing. I think FSR support will definitely help, especially on, weaker M1 chips. It's also not commonly known that X-Plane 11 supported VR on Intel Macs, with some nasty hacks though. I hope if Apple bring VR support to Mac, that this feature can be fully implemented here in X-Plane 12 on Apple Silicon. X-Plane 12 is going to be available in public beta later in 2022 via Steam, and I think a free demo will be available too, but don't count me on that. Grid Legends delivers thrilling racing action not seen on macOS since Feral brought Dirt 4 to Mac in 2019. Hundreds of events combine in the series' largest ever career mode, tapping into a celebration of motorsport across a huge variety of racing disciplines. Feral have confirmed that Grid Legends is native to Apple Silicon later in the year, but it will be available exclusively on the Mac App Store and will only feature single player with no multiplayer modes. Feral also told me that the game will support racing wheels. If you didn't know, macOS Ventura adds back support for racing wheels and pedals, and Feral have supported this feature since PowerPC, and it's good to see them once again bringing it back in Grid Legends. Like Resident Evil Village and No Man's Sky, this one will support Metal 3 and Metal FX upscaling to help you reach maximum speeds. Skyclimbers has up to 3 friends building a kingdom, choosing their class, and taming monsters in this multiplayer city-building RPG that takes place in a procedurally generated anime-themed universe. Okay, I'll be honest, at first glance the graphics are not spectacular in some scenes, but keep in mind this is pre-alpha gameplay, and what's on offer does look pretty promising in my eyes, with a huge open world and heaps of content on offer. There is also not really anything like this on Mac since, I don't know, Ark Survival Evolved, if that's even comparable. It's being developed in Unity, which fully supports Apple Silicon now, and it was said on Discord that it looks like Skyclimbers could support Apple Silicon out of the gate in 2023, even in an early access state. If that doesn't work, they said it can also support Molten VK on Mac. Before we go, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Isonzo, the upcoming World War II FPS releasing in September. This one isn't confirmed as coming to Mac, but M2H told me they are currently looking into macOS support. This makes sense as they brought Verdan and Tannenberg to Intel-based Macs in the past. I just hope that they can see that there is a passionate audience here that really wants to play their game. Which upcoming Apple Silicon Mac game are you most looking forward to? Some of these AAA games are old, sure, but it does look like Apple are finally trying to encourage more big developers to bring their games to Apple Silicon. Metal 3 should make it easier for game development on macOS. I guess only time will tell if Apple's new gaming vision will become a reality on Mac. Anyway, leave a like if you found this video useful and subscribe and turn on notifications to stay up to date with everything Apple gaming related. My name is Stewie, and thanks for watching.